Alright guys, well here I am finally doing the letter decoder tutorial. And if you don't know what I mean by that, for my marquee, people were wondering how to do how I decode each letter for each pulse, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. This is I won't tell you how to make this, it's just 5 rows of repeaters like that. You can make it as long as you want, really, I guess. But and then just have this, this coming out. That's not difficult. But anyways, so I'll just begin by showing you how to make the letter A, which it'll be in this format. It'll, look like that. It'll be 5 tall and really as many as you want wide. But instead of doing like this, it's hard to do it where there's only one space in between because the redstone glitches a little bit and sometimes it won't do it. So anyways, we'll just easier and safer to go with this version. So you want to take care of each individual row individually. So I'll start with this row. So you'd want one and then 2 spaces and then another quick 1 pulse, So what I had to do is design a way to split the pulse, like from one individual pulse it needs to split so that, I'll show you. Alright, so the pulse comes in right here and then it'll go both up and through here, but when it goes up it'll go through these 3 repeaters so that this bottom one will go through first. So it'll be 1 and then it'll go to the bottom real quick and then it'll go up to the top and then be slowed down by these repeaters and then follow behind that last one so that it'll be like boom boom. You'll see it when I'll show you. Also, you need a pulse gate, and this is just the pulse gate that I used for my marquee. There's probably, which I made the marquee before the repeater behavior changed, so there's probably better, shorter, before pistons and repeater changes and stuff, so there's probably better ways of doing it, but it's real quick. But just watch out, the output is a real short pulse. But to be able to see it, I'm just going to make a little clock over here. And then turn the clock on and off. So, clock, pulse gate, this, I guess, it's a splitter, I guess. But, and you may be wondering why you have to use 3 repeaters like this instead of just using 1 repeater set to 3, but you can't do that, and I'll show you in a bit. So you can pretty much see how that's exactly where we want it to do. Have 1 and then 2 spaces and then another quick little pulse. So now you'll notice that this row, and then this row right here are all the same pattern. Instead of doing this separately for each one, you can just sort of that block so that it goes through both of these, and then you want to get it to this that one, so that way those three are all on the same little. See if it works. Alright, now that one's working, but it's not reaching the top because it's not the pulse isn't long enough. So you can see if that works. There we go. There's the what you're wanting to see. And then for this one and this one that are both the same, it's a bit easier when there's not spaces in between, because 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just a four pulse. What you'll want to do is, first of all, it's kind of tricky to you have to kind of work with it to try to get the wires where they need to go, because it gets real tight up in here. So you try to want to get the wires to go where you want them to go without it cutting off power anywhere. So, and the lines aren't mixed. So that's about where we want it. You want to go from the pulse gate so that it's the same pulse up here, and then you see it won't be able to reach, but now you'll just change this one to 1, 2, 3, 4 for delay, and what it does is it lengthens the pulse kind of. It takes this little 1-tick pulse that's real quick and changes it to a longer pulse. Whatever, you know, like you can make a 2 pulse, and see, and it's just 2, or you can make it 3, and now it's 1, 2, 3, but we're going for 4, so put it at 4, and then now all you got to do, you realize that everything is where it's good. What you want to do is, you know, line all these up with the slowest one. So this row right here is the furthest back. You'll want to slow this one down by 1 so it syncs up. So really, to do that, you just, you know, add a repeater somewhere so that it's just delayed by 1. And now see, these are synced up. It's hard to see this. I mean, it's easier here. It's a bit easier to see it now, but now these are synced up. These 3 need to be moved back 1, 2 to sync up with that. And you could put them, you know, right here, and then do the same with each of them, but what I like to do is before it splits, oh whoops, add those so that there you have it. There is your A that you're wanting. You'll see it cuts off right here. That's just a flaw of the repeaters, I guess, and it happens less when I'm recording and things like that. But there's your A. So that's all the decoder and stuff from the A. And all this comes from this one little pulse right here, from this clock. It gets turned into a tiny 1-tick pulse, and then this splits, and then all this. So now what I'll do is show you how to do a different letter. Say we can do D. D is pretty easy. Just gonna reset all this. Alright, so I've cleared all that area out, kept the clock and this pulse gate, but so this is the format I'm going to be making the D in. Yeah, I know it kind of looks sketchy kind of right there, but it looks fine when I make it. So starting with the bottom, if you'll remember, this is 1 2 3. That's easy. All you have to do is connect that, and then the top is the same, so we can connect that too if we want to. So you just have a repeater and then set it to 3, and that's it for that. Kind of test it out. It's hitting that bottom one right there. There's 3, but it's not hitting the top, so we just gotta... What I have to do is just see, stop in 1 before, so doesn't really matter. We'll just do that and then put another one right here so that it's even. They're both at the same level and they're at 3. So for these 3 in the middle, it's just that same old 1 2 spaces 1. So we'll make that same contraption that we had made, and what I'll do is that way I don't want to like go straight over that to cut it off, so we'll just do that. That way it's not cutting that off, and then so that is that device. Just hook it up here. And this, oh. There's hitting all 3 of those. Now, you see everything is doing correctly. Now we just need to sync all these up, move this one 2 rows back. So just sort of and then you can see that's your letter D. Also look at it up here. But so that is the letter decoder. And you can pretty much figure out from that how to do each individual letter. It's just kind of different working with it each time. There might be an actual better way to do it, possibly, since some of the redstone, you know, like I said, the repeater and the piston thing has changed, so there might be a more efficient or easier, better way to do it. This is just the way I did it for my big marquee. That's the way I figured out how to do it myself. But there's that.